Praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. So glad you could join us today as we talk to you about those things that are pertinent and important, critical to your thinking and your living, but always from the kingdom perspective. So we invite you to join us today, and thank you for joining us today, and call us so you can talk to us, have that conversation. Our callers call from all around the globe, 1-866-743-8267, 866-743-8267, toll free, 866-743-EVANS. Give us a call. Of course, joining me once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm trying to make it.
Yeah.
I must be a little hard of hearing this morning. Perhaps Crystal, yeah, when she took yours down, she took mine out too. So I guess,
okay,
we have a marvelous staff that is responsive to our individual idiosyncrasies. And this morning, thank you so much.
It's better.
Yes.
It's now loud in mine.
It's loud in yours?
Like
Let's bring it down just a hair. Bring it out. Yeah, that's it. Bring it down just a hair. Good.
That's good. Okay. That's better. Yeah.
All right.
Both
Now I'm hearing myself back
Your
again.
computer on?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I thought I forgot it was muted already. I hit the mute button and realized it was
It's first time we've done this, y'all. Just hang in there with us.
First week here on
We'll get it. Yeah, we've never
Right,
done this before.
right.
So
I forgot the mute was
let's get
already
it
off.
together.
It just
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. Give us a call. We are indeed glad to talk to you today about those things that are on your heart, that are critical for your thinking, but also kingdom translation, oftentimes, of the things that are going on around us. So, top of the news, of course, is the election, upcoming debate. Breonna Taylor, of course. COVID, we've gone over 200,000 folk. We're closing in on 7 million people infected, and I heard some news this week that only 1 in 10 Americans has contracted the disease so far.
Only 1 in 10?
1 in 10. So there's a whole. If we don't hold this thing, if we don't get a grip on this thing, it's going to keep going at the rate that it's going, and you can't have mass meetings of any kind. Understand Florida's getting ready to go into 100% restaurants.
Can you believe it? And they had 1,400 new cases
I don't.
Yeah.
Is he trying to kiss our president's behind to such an extent that he's willing to sacrifice the people that he's governing?
Well, the president did say on camera that COVID is really only affecting senior citizens, so everybody should be able to go back to normal.
After he said
Now,
what
this
he said,
is on camera, and the people cheered too. Now, last time I checked, he was talking to a pro-life crowd. What most of us heard was, well, seniors are going to die, so it's almost
okay.
like it's okay for everybody else, for the
But
greater good of everybody else.
but we have him on tape talking about how lethal it is to kids, young people, how the thing is being spread. So, do you think people are so cultish, and that's the word, I don't like using that word,
No, they
are so cultish that they will ignore their own safety, safety of their family members, just to get, watch this, some approval from a guy
we ain't even human.
in a crowd where they're indistinguishable, and think that gives them some approval by him?
Yep.
Are we that starved for approval that we will risk our lives and those of our families just so he might look at us or we might look at him?
They're trying to prove a point. I mean, they interview some of the people at the rallies, and they say this isn't real like that. Well, if I catch it, I'll be okay. It's just like the flu. One guy said, well, if I die, it must be God's time to take me.
What about the people around you that get sick because you were irresponsible?
Yep. 200 lives, whether most of them are seniors or not, is important just as much as a baby in the womb.
That's
I'm
right.
Sorry, I just can't.
No,
I can't float with it.
If you're pro-life, you ought to be pro-life,
Yeah.
not pro-life only up to a certain point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in that if 200,000 people died from the virus,
Yeah.
that's probably at least 2 to 5 million people that are in mourning because that person died.
Yeah.
Like,
Why isn't that real to some people? Why? Because it hasn't happened to them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What is the platinum plan for?
For African Americans.
Yeah, what is that?
So he came out with it last night in Atlanta, and his thing was he's going to label the KKK and Antifa criminal organizations.
He's lying.
And I know. And he's going to continue his hard work to make
Or
sure
has he decided that those organizations are not needed for him to get elected?
he's trying to do everything he can. Reports are he thought that the prison legislation
Yeah.
would gain him the black vote. And
No.
The
No.
quote unquote, there's more black people unemployed than him on his term than anybody else.
Yeah.
He thought that was going to switch them over.
That's not true. We got 40 million people out of work,
And even before this,
and a
too.
host of them are black.
Yeah, and even before this too.
So I need we have a host of, one of the great things about this program. We cross ethnicities.
Yep.
We cross age groups. We cross generations. It's an amazing mix of people that are loyal to On Point. I need some of our Hispanic listeners to dial in and let us know what is the political divide that allies them to some of them to Trump and some of them to Biden. What is the appeal, and why is there? I guess my question happens in the face of, and I think I'm answering my own question, in the face of the border incidents and him calling their young people animals and things like that. In the face of that, why is there such a large, seem to be perceived as a large Hispanic community, and I'm inappropriately including Cubans and people whose origins, original origins like ours, begin somewhere else, have been here forever, are American citizens, see what's going on. What is the appeal? But then as I'm talking about it, I'm looking at these Candace Owens people and these other folk who are clearly African American, but appear to have no sensitivity to what the rest of their community is going through.
Yep. Blacks for Trump is actually a growing organization. And here's my thing about Candace Owens. She never really addresses this from what I heard. All of a sudden, racism isn't real. But when she was in college,
she said that?
she acts like it's not a big thing.
Okay.
That these incidences are isolated.
Okay.
But in college, she used the NAACP to help her win a case in college, a discrimination racism case.
But racism isn't real.
But now all of a sudden, when she's up where she is, all of a sudden it's not a major thing.
I hate to call people manipulative and agenda driven, but I believe in my heart that I think she thought it was going to get her a place. They didn't invite her to the convention. They say she was thrown completely off because she wasn't invited to the convention. And I've listened to a couple of tapes because I like to know if I'm talking concerning a person, I like to know what they've said.
Sure.
And I've listened to a couple of tapes, and she has some points, but she's lacking sensitivity to the reality of what other people are going through.
Yep.
And I find that she's going to be a disappointed individual when she finds out specifically that all Mr. Trump cares about is her looking like she's supporting, so others that look like her will get on the bandwagon. That's all she's being used for.
Yep.
You know, she's being pimped and doesn't know it, or she's being pimped and she doesn't mind it. But
Because she's making some money from it.
Absolutely.
Look, they making some big money.
I don't know how big it is, but their platforms are growing based upon this controversy.
They are. They're books that are coming out, selling. Well, just certain ones. But
Yeah. I don't get it. I guess I'm back to what we always say. Is it just wrong to say I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that, but I support because of that?
Yep. I think that's appropriate.
I think that's appropriate. Just but you don't have to make an excuse for everything.
Yep.
And I don't understand why in this environment that we live in that it's not okay to say, you know what, my president said this yesterday, he was totally wrong, that's whacked. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing. And that's got to be exhausting. Like if I had to defend you every day, like be the press secretary,
Come on, man.
I would be all my hair.
And they all look delirious.
Yeah.
Every press secretary looks like a deer in the headlights.
Right.
Because you got to, knowing full well, okay, it's my job to lie to people.
Yep.
It's my job to try to fix what he says. And it's impossible because he doesn't stop saying things.
Yep. Yeah. It's like,
You know, you're like the guy at the circus whose sole job is to clean up behind the elephants.
Yeah.
You walk all day
right. Clean it
and
up.
just cleaning up piles of stuff.
Yep.
And that's what they do.
Yep.
We got Jay from Delaware. We got Tom from Florida. Give us a call, 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Won't you right now share with your friends and your followers, inbox someone, tell them to join us on Point today. We'd love to have them join our conversation, which is growing by leaps and bounds every week. We're just so honored that you're taking the time to join us. So we've got Tom and we got Jay on the phone, got Delaware and Florida represented. Come on, call us from around the country. Let's hear what you have to say about this. Now, I need your perspective, Pastor Nick. It may be my age, which is calling this perspective. I'm willing to put it out there so you can adjust my lens. Now, my pragmatism says, if I'm going to indict you for endangering the people next door to you, how do I not get charges somewhere on somebody for killing an individual in the place you were trying to go? So I endangered the persons next door, but I didn't endanger the people that I killed?
That you killed.
How does that work?
I think this is just throw a bone in there just to get
That's
somebody, just to say that charges are being pressed. So the wall got more justice than her.
Yep.
Now here's my other dilemma about this, right?
Okay.
The Second Amendment people say, and I'm pro-gun. I'm not
Okay.
against gun.
Absolutely.
With common sense laws. Their thing is, let me get a gun so I can protect my household, right?
Right.
They're saying that her boyfriend shouldn't have shot first. Now,
Standing ground doesn't count for him.
that's my thing.
No, it's not the same
How
thing.
did he know there was the cops?
It's not the same thing. It's why the guy that killed Trayvon,
Yep.
stand your ground. He could follow him and shoot him.
Yep.
Unarmed a guy. That's stand your ground.
Absolutely.
I'm in my house with a gun. Somebody's breaking in. Don't identify themselves. And I'm not allowed to shoot.
Yep. And if that was a regular citizen, it'd have been, but that's my thing. Like, how do you sit there and say, well, he shouldn't have shot first when you would have done the same thing?
No, when you have passed a law, given a gun to a licensed individual, tell him if you feel threatened, you can defend yourself. And a crew busted in your house that has no identification, no police, no, it's us. Who determines what? All right, man. Stephanie from Philly's on. Let's go to the phones. We've got Jay from Delaware. Good morning, Jay. Welcome to On Point.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing all right. What's your comment today?
I am troubled.
Join the crew.
You spoke directly to the Candace Owens situation, and I had a conversation with my best friend of 36 years last night, discussing the events of Breonna Taylor and the lack of indictment. And he just doesn't. He thinks he's fine with it.
Doesn't see a problem.
Is he fine? He doesn't see a problem. But not only that, he went on to tell me he doesn't believe systemic racism is real in America.
Is he African American?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They're a growing base, Bishop. I'm telling you, they are a growing base.
I am so terribly flummoxed by his comments.
How old is he?
We're the same age. We've been friends since second grade. When I say we went to school together, we were in the military together, we went to college together.
You guys
we
know
shared an
each other.
apartment together. I've known him my entire life. And not only that, he told me he donated money to certain groups who I know to be anti-African American. And he's okay with that.
He's ashamed of his history. There's a growing group of professionals that are actually in denial about the history of our race. They don't want to be considered what we are connected to. They don't want to consider the slavery. They don't want to consider any of that. And they're actually, I believe, we're going to see some psychological effect in these people at some point. And I'm speaking from experience with a relative who absolutely, for years, tried to say the same thing, long before Trump went in office.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been a hater of his own race forever.
Yeah.
He looks in the mirror and doesn't like himself.
I was driving from Baltimore last night. To say I had to pull over into a rest stop and literally collect my thoughts. I said, "Dude, this is." I was no words.
You know what I think? Is he a professional also?
He is.
You know what? Sometimes I wonder if this mindset that you're describing, I wonder if those people that have that mindset think it's necessary to have it to fit into corporate America.
But he just doesn't see that there's systemic racism in education, in the criminal justice system, even in politics, even in the military. And I literally sat up all night
Talking to
researching,
him? Yeah.
sending articles. I couldn't talk anymore. I just had to send articles.
So
I had to
do you
change
think?
conversation.
Do you think that he has not had a profound experience with racism?
Well, that probably is a part of it. I mean, we pretty much have had the same upbringing. We both went to boarding school. We both were in the military. We both went to college. We both, have lived decent lives for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't understand how he doesn't see it. We come from the same background, and I see it every day.
Did it happen in boarding school?
Not. It did. It was there. I believe systemic racism existed.
Did his transition happen in boarding school?
I don't believe so. I believe he's always been this way.
Okay, so have you all always lived in mixed communities?
Well, that was the thing. When we started school, the school was predominantly white, and then there was a changeover probably by the time we got to the sixth grade where it flipped, and it was predominantly African American.
Okay.
And he just believes that the problems in the African American community are self-created.
You just explained it. You just explained it. Someone close to me, I'm trying to keep the name out of the broadcast. I also am a graduate of boarding school. And this individual went into our boarding school at around the 6th grade. And by the time he got to the 10th or 11th grade, he believed everything white was proper, everything black was not. To the point that he stopped calling himself African American.
Wow.
It happened in those early years when he saw being white as the advantage, as the privilege you could have, and black being a disadvantage. And he would have forays where he was trying to fit into that community totally by denying his own family. And then when he would get hit across the head by that community, he'd come running back to his family until he healed, and then he tried again. So I'm not talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I know, just like you do.
So the question for me is, how do we help them see?
I don't know if you can. What I found out, the only thing that gave him any sense of consciousness was when he could not deny that what he was going through was because of the color of his skin. But it took a long time. I'm talking about 40 years.
Wow.
Maybe 50 years.
Wow. I mean, we're on the horizon of 50. I don't know if I can change his. There has to be a paradigm change in his mind that just says
who he believes in has got to disappoint him drastically, abjectly, without equivocation. He won't be able to rationalize his way around what happened to him. That's the only way it's going to happen. Because if you can watch people get gunned down in the street indiscriminately, and then watch people who are not of the same hue walk around with rifles and not get shot. You've got to understand there's a difference.
He contributed to that person's legal defense fund. I'm just.
Oh,
that's what caused me
God.
to almost run off the road.
I'm sure it did. Oh, my goodness. Where'd you guys go to boarding school?
Girard College.
Oh, that's right, Girard. Yeah, well, back then it was predominantly white. And if you were not strong, you would start to believe and here's the thing. I think in order to be a true African American, you have to be able to admit the dysfunctions in our community.
Absolutely.
You cannot act like they don't exist. You can't say they're everybody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that are going on, like I lived in the projects. I never saw a white individual come into the fairground and throw trash in my front yard. I never saw it. I never saw them come into the project. Now, and I understand influence, culture, and all that. At the end of the day, you're responsible for what goes on in your own house.
That's true, but I guess I'm not sure. He counts Frank Rizzo and Richard Nixon among his personal heroes. So,
you know what was amazing about Rizzo? I used to work at a major production company in Philadelphia, and Mr. Rizzo would come and tour the plant occasionally. And what always amazed me was that number one, the company that I worked for, when I became a businessman, my first real business, I became the first African American owner of a business that they contracted with in their history. Now the plant sits in North Philadelphia. I was the first in the history of the company to have a primary business that they contracted with, not a subcontractor, nothing. They'd never done it in the history, sitting in North Philadelphia. So Mr. Rizzo comes, and I understand his reputation. I know who he is. So he walks up, and we're in a majority white plant. Rizzo comes up on the floor where we're working, and both of his bodyguards were black. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the guy that's got us being gunned down the street, and look who's protecting him. So it reminds me of a plantation illustration. I'll breastfeed your babies, I'll cook your food, I'll clean your house, I'll take care of you when you're sick, but I still think you're less than I am.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I just had to, this has been on my mind all night.
Well, it would. It took me years to get through it with this person I'm talking about. Years. Until the point I stopped talking to him about it.
I mean, I knew he had some interesting views.
You call him interesting.
But this just caught me off guard last night.
Blows your way, doesn't it?
I don't understand how he doesn't see it.
Well, the depth of denial has to be profound, Jay. You know that. You know what you got? You know the conversation you have to have with yourself to get you to that place? You know the switches you have to turn off?
But I just need to understand the anatomy of it all. And
you're trying to make sense out of it. It's not intellectual. It's emotional. And it's a degree of self-hatred that neither one of us can get close to. Because here's the insanity. I can say that all day long. But when an African-American man walks into a room, he is the most polarizing person in the room. Either for or against. Walk in a room, walk in an elevator, walk in a space, polarized. He's in denial.
I mean, yeah, this is all I can ask is for your prayers.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to pull out the holy waters.
He disappointed you, didn't he?
It just, I was almost to the point of tears last night because I just didn't think someone who knows me as well as he does.
Mm-hmm.
Our experiences. I mean, we've been friends since 1983.
Yeah.
Our parents, although they've never met, which is crazy,
Mm-hmm.
work the same jobs, come from the same background, and he just doesn't see it.
Well.
And he thinks that this is self-created. You know, black people are lazy, and
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
And I'm just, where did this come from?
Well, here's the thing. If we understand that behavior and perspectives are both interpretations of environment, then you can see how you perceived Gerard's situation. He perceived it different. And that perception has perpetuated itself throughout your life. Because behavior and perspective are interpretations of environment. He sees things clearly more differently than you do. And here's the Christ part of it. You don't have to agree with a person to love them.
That's true.
Now,
That's true.
Now, when people show you capacity, it changes the way you interact with them, perhaps, but it does not take away the love of God for an individual.
He's my brother from another mother. I'm gonna love him to the end. I'm vexed.
Well, I think he's being racist regarding himself. He's not racial. He's being racist. But here's my problem with Christians that are racist. You're disapproving with the way God made someone. So you're telling God he does not know what he's doing. You can't get around it when you're racist. You are absolutely telling God, I disagree with the way you've made that person.
That's an interesting perspective, and I've never heard it quite stated like that.
It's a rejection of his creative authority. As a Christian, it's the rejection of his creative authority. So I can't be racist and say I'm in agreement with God on that. I can't.
Right.
Disapproval of the way God made him.
This is giving me a lot to think about this morning. I literally till 3 o'clock this morning just flooded his inbox with articles and
Not gonna help.
and research papers.
Not gonna help. I'm gonna drop this on you. I'll let you go. So he's rebelling against his own ethnicity, right? Rebellion does not respond to conversation. The only thing that gets rebellion's attention is hard times. Because rebellion speaks the language of hard times.
Wow.
All right, man, gotta let you go. These other lights are blinking like crazy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Talk to you now.
Brothers, have a good week.
Bye-bye. What's say, Pastor Nick? Should we keep going? Let's go.
Yeah, we got to decide about drive-in.
Drive-in?
So we got.
Is it raining? All right, we'll come up with
All
it.
right.
Tom, how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop.
What's going on in Florida, man?
Weather's beautiful. And,
I'm not talking about the weather, man.
Hey, I'll tell you a couple things. One is he is pushing this Spanish boat like you wouldn't believe.
Is he?
Are you kidding? He's giving money to Puerto Rico. A lot of Puerto Ricans up in
How many years did it take for him to do it?
I don't know. I heard something yesterday on the news which amazed me. We have the one judge that they were talking about being a nominee for the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
She is from Cuba, originally, her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the news came out yesterday and said, he put it out there so, Cuban Americans would say, oh, yeah, he's for us. But he didn't even interview the lady. So he is playing the game. He's putting sanctions on Cuba. So he's trying to grab Miami. And he is working it down here. I think he's down here this weekend. And not just at Mar-a-Lago to enjoy himself, but to try to get that Spanish-American vote.
You know what they figured out about the electorate? They figure out that they can actually tell us two totally contradicting statements. They can reveal two totally contradictory things and switch up telling us what we should believe. And they figured out there's a large part of society that will actually make that turn. I know you said North was South on Monday, and now you're saying South is North on Tuesday. But since you said it on Tuesday, I'm now believing what you're saying today.
And Bishop, I'm telling you, on Facebook, I know it's only Facebook, but I have some friends I work with in industry, and a couple of these guys, I'm not talking about just running the mill, I'm talking about people, one guy's a VP of a major corporation.
Yep.
And I look at what they're supporting, and sometimes, we talk about our president saying things. He's saying things that are on people's mind, and they were always hidden. He's just bringing it to the light.
I think what you may be struggling with, Tom, is this. You may be searching for logic, but the racial vote is never logical. It begins with emotion and then arrives at some logic. And the logic that it arrives at is a logic that justifies the emotion. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I have one other thing to let you go. He doubled down on the election. I am not accepting the results because if I lose, they are fraudulent.
Where are the Republican politicians at this point? Where are they? That should be enough right there to say, okay, that's enough. He's getting ready to take us all down. It should be enough. That statement alone should have been enough to bring McConnell and all of them out of their cocoons.
Yesterday or the day before, he was asked a direct question.
I saw it. I saw it.
Well, there's no way I'm going to lose. If I lose, it was rigged.
Wait a minute. If he wins, is it still rigged?
No.
Oh no, because
Wait a minute. If he wins, is it rigged? That's what somebody needs to ask him that.
Yeah. Because he's putting all kind of doubts out there both ways.
He says he says ballots don't work. So if he wins according to the mail-in ballots, is it rigged? Somebody needs to ask him that. He'll walk off the podium.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's got it. He's got it set. He's putting so much confusion out there that he can, go either way he wants when the results come out.
I don't understand the cultish loss of reason. I'm not understanding those of us that are believers that are not willing to say, is it so wrong for us as believers to say, okay, I know he's this, I know he's that, I know he's this, I know he's that, but I still support him. Is that so wrong?
Yeah.
But we want to make ourselves look crazy and say he's not guilty of any of this stuff. He didn't say. I've heard his supporters say he didn't say that. Listen, I heard him say it.
Oh wait, or it's fake news.
Well, it can't be fake
news.
It can't be fake news if I saw him at his rally say it.
Yeah. Or he didn't mean it. Or he recanted it.
When Kelly Conway said you can't take him at his word, I knew we were in trouble. She said that early in his term. You can't take him at his word. You've got to be able to take a president at his word. Tom, we got to go, man. Wait a minute, man. Let me ask you a question because I need well, Danny's on there, but I want to ask you get two perspectives. It appears to us from outside of Florida that your governor is putting things in place for you all to lead the nation in cases of COVID-19.
Yesterday, he said that anybody who is being fined for wearing a mask will not have to pay it. He is down here in South Florida, especially the mayors have really stuck together on being uniformed on what they were putting as a message they were putting out.
Okay.
He just blew it up yesterday. Totally blew it up.
Has he been promised some position with Trump or something?
I don't know. He
Are they
also said yes.
going to create another position called second vice president or something?
I don't know. He even said yesterday that no matter what goes on, the Super Bowl is going to be in Miami. He's going to have a full Super Bowl no matter what. In other words,
and then those people will go back to all other parts of the country.
yeah.
It's all right. Now, you know, if we're going to be consistent, we need to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
a great individual in the body of Christ has passed away. Bishop Ellis, yes. And they're filling up hotels, and they're gonna, I guess, pack the church and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, they're saying it's going to be distanced.
How?
Right. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're saying it's going to be
How?
distanced. I don't know.
Where are they gonna have it? Outside in
Checking
the field?
temperatures. I don't know. I don't know. This is
One of
just
the big
what-
churches,
Yeah.
the cathedral.
Yeah. And they're doing something in Memphis, I think, tomorrow, I think.
They're doing something for 4 or 5 straight days. Okay. I've got the same problem with calling people together in the COVID situation that we're in for a funeral as much as I have for a football game.
Wow.
And the community that's going to be impacted is already impacted disproportionately will once again be exposed. And you're going to trust people that if they don't feel good to stay home. For real?
Especially for this? No, they're going to be seen.
All right, man. I just need to know, man. It sounds crazy to us from outside of Florida.
Nothing surprises me here.
All right, man. You be safe now.
You guys take care.
Talk to you. 1-866-743-8267. 1-866-743-8267. Now, is it raining now?
Not
is it
now.
sunny now?
It's supposed to start raining. It's supposed to be a 30-40% chance from 10 to 1.
From 10
But
to
it's
1.
not raining right now.
Is it sunny outside?
It's just sunny out right now, yeah.
All right, we need to know because
It's sunny out right now.
it's sunny out right now.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's going to come in suddenly and get us?
I don't know. What does it look like outside? It's still cloudy.
It's still cloudy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting mixed reviews here, dude.
Well,
You know,
said
we don't
the
have
sun's out, right?
we don't have windows in this room, so we're relying totally on
the sun
testimony.
is out on one part, they say, but it's still somewhat cloudy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And we got the leadership seminar starting at what time?
At 10:15. Yes, sir.
But that's all online, everyone.
Yeah.
We want you to join us
Yeah.
on all of our sites. Leadership seminar today. We hope you're going to love it. We're still trying to decide what we're going to do at 12 o'clock because last time we did this, did it rain?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
The last time it.
Well, the last time it
The
did.
last time,
other
but time before that,
it didn't rain.
It was sunny.
Yeah.
The sun came out. So
They're saying it's raining in Delaware, so I don't know if it's moving up or. I
yeah,
don't
that job security that these
know.
weather people have is just amazing to me. Only thing I know, you can just be wrong 100% and keep your job and get paid. And they put you on TV and dressed up and everything, and you just misleading folk.
Them and sports broadcasters, they can lie.
Pointing at a green screen, just
Yeah.
pointing at a green screen.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. It looks like this, and then it changed.
come
Yep.
on, man.
So I mean,
Okay, let's go to Stephanie. Thank you for holding on, Stephanie. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, and you? How you doing, Pastor Nick?
All right.
And how you doing,
Hey.
Bishop?
I'm
Evans?
fine. That's Pastor too, girl.
I know it. Okay, here's the thing. I'm just gonna come on here, and I'm going to say this.
turn your radio
And I'm
down.
Turn
gonna
your
say
radio
this.
down, honey.
Turn my radio down. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's down.
Good.
Okay, I'm going to say this on the Breonna Taylor situation.
Go ahead.
My whole thing about this is that I was so pissed on that grand jury situation and when they came back. And with Daniel Cameron, is that his last name? The Attorney General, he was a mess. Period.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this much. Breonna Taylor situation, she should prevail. She will prevail.
Okay.
That's it. I have no questions.
Okay.
All that I can say is that the Lord has us all.
Thank you for calling us.
Everybody
today.
have a blessed day.
All right, talk to you now. Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267. We've got Danny.
It's starting to rain.
It's starting to rain now?
It's raining in Blackwood, and somebody in Clementon said it's raining.
Okay. All right. So we will not have drive-in service today at 12, but our leadership seminar, who everyone is invited to, that is a leader who is in a leadership position
What'd you
in
say?
any capacity. What's wrong?
Just wanted to know if we were going to record anything because I have to.
Are we going to do something?
Why don't we do a last time we did a Q&A after. You want to
Okay.
go online and do something?
Yeah, we after the seminar.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll do the Q&A.
11:15. Yeah.
Okay.
Live with the camera crew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a
Since
good
they're gonna
look.
be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maya, come to church.
For a change.
Come to church.
Is she listening?
She usually
She
does.
just
yes.
better be.
She
You better be. Get in trouble. All right. So we will not have our drive-in service today because of the weather.
Yeah.
But we will have a discussion immediately following our leadership seminar today.
Yeah.
Leadership begins at 10:15.
It's 10:15 to about 11:15.
About 11:15, and then
Yeah.
we'll start taking questions, and we should be done. What, half an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give us a call. Let's talk to Danny. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Bishop, good morning. Good morning. Pastor Nick, staff, how you all
How you
doing today?
We're doing good, man. I am concerned about Florida.
Well,
It's like every week.
it's all about, there's so much that's going on, Bishop. You have to hit yourself to say, what, am I dreaming or what? You know?
Here's my problem, Dan. Am I wrong in thinking that even though your governor says, I'm opening up restaurants 100% capacity, am I wrong in thinking ultimately the responsibility lies with the citizens of Florida, whether they're going to comply and take themselves into a dangerous situation in a hot state already, or do we lay it all on the governor?
You have to understand the makeup of Florida. Once you understand that, then you get a good understanding as to what's exactly happening.
Okay.
There are two Floridas. There's North Florida and there's South Florida.
Okay.
Okay? Once you understand that, then you get a good idea as to what exactly is happening. If you look at money that is spent on citizens,
Mhm.
there's more money spent in northern Florida than there is in South Florida.
Okay.
Okay? If you look at as far as appearance, as you look around, you'll see that there's more money spent in North Florida than there is in South.
Okay.
By that, what I mean is that the governor is doing the same thing that got us into the situation that we're in right now as far as the pandemic.
Okay.
What happened was Northern Florida had a set of rules, South Florida had a different set of rules. That was that they did not have the restrictions of wearing masks and what have you. But South Florida did, and they were trying to keep it under control.
Okay.
The citizens in the South said, well, we don't understand because they do not wear them. I had friends that went up to Central Florida, and they went into stores, they went into restaurants. No one were wearing masks, and they were looking at them like they were crazy because they were accustomed to wearing masks.
Okay.
You come back into the South, then you're confused all over again. What he's doing now by opening up the restaurants and everything, it's giving an appearance that everything is over with and that you're doing fine.
But don't the people know better than that? You guys are losing hundreds of people a day.
But they're gaining votes.
Danny, you know what you're describing to me? You're describing a fact that you've got a constituency in Florida that is ignoring the results. Not only the infected, but the deaths nationally. Not only the infected, but the deaths in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gaining votes that way?
Yes. But one thing that I noticed, too, and I often ask you, are they giving you the true stats as far as what's happening with the virus?
They're
Because
hiding.
what happened is that we're not getting the true facts. Neither are they telling us how many people actually died.
Well, Florida I think, has blatantly decided not to report what's happening.
Exactly.
But you can't
Exactly.
get around. I don't care how you look at it. You can't get around. In my mind, 2 people dead is too many.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 200,000 ought to be impressing everyone. Everyone.
So by doing that, especially in South Florida, where everything, Florida, period, is tourist industry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are out of work.
You're not saying it's back to money again, are you?
It's back to money. That's what it is. Bottom dollar. Okay?
So
My
it's
next question.
bucks over bodies. Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Okay.
By the president giving money to Puerto Rico, by the president coming to South Florida, speaking to only one particular community.
That's so
What do you- what
obvious.
do-
It's so obvious.
Is that? Are you trying to get votes?
Of course, he ignored Puerto Rico up until a month before the election. And if he hadn't been in trouble, he would have kept ignoring them. He's been ignoring them since the hurricane.
Okay. Now, there is another office that has been created. It's the vice president to the vice president. What he did, okay, was that Mr. Bloomberg came to Florida.
I heard.
He said that I understand the situation, and these particular people that have been released from prison, they have paid their dues. You have voted on that they should be free. But the legislature of Florida turned right around and said, yeah, we agree with the citizens, but they're going to have to pay, and they're going to have to pay whatever monies that's due back to the state or whatever we have taxed onto them. So now they were not able to vote. So by him doing that, 32,000 people were able to go ahead and get their fines, their fees paid.
Uh-huh.
Now the state is saying that we're going to go ahead and open up an investigation to say that that's illegal because he's buying votes.
They were going to buy him themselves. They were going to let the prisoners were going to buy him. If you tell me if you got to tell me I got to pay to vote,
yes,
then I'm buying my vote. I'm buying my own vote.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm buying my ticket to the movies so I can have a seat.
They put that on the prisoners because, number one, when they come out of prison, they had no rehabilitation. Trying to get a job is very difficult. Very difficult.
You got to do what a lot of them did. You got to start a business.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That got away from me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This one is for Pastor Nick. Pastor Nick. David Cameron.
Yeah.
34 years old, Attorney General for Kentucky.
Yep.
Wow.
Who is he married to?
That's actually not real. You're about to say that.
Who is he
It was
married
false.
to?
That's false, right?
They're saying that he's married to Mitch McConnell's relative.
No, he's not married to Mitch McConnell's relative.
Yeah, that's not her.
He is married to a white woman. He's not
Yeah.
married to Mitch McConnell's
Yeah.
relative.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell was his mentor.
Yeah.
Is his mentor.
Yeah.
McConnell came to his wedding.
Yeah. That was a false thing people were putting out to kind of make
Oh,
it like,
okay.
yeah.
It's wasn't his daughter. Because she would be half Japanese and half Caucasian. Is he married to the Japanese lady?
I think so. You know,
Yeah, he's married to the
So,
Japanese lady.
Yeah.
But he was his mentor.
Yeah, he's his mentor.
He
Yeah.
was his mentor. That's right.
Yeah.
All the way
So-
through college because
Mhm.
he won some kind of essay contest or something and became a mentor. McConnell came to his wedding. McConnell's thoroughly embedded with this young man.
Yeah.
So his point of view is without relevance.
Okay. All right.
Did I say that gently enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to be kinder the older I get. I'm trying to be more diplomatic.
Yeah.
Although older people are accused of not having filters, I'm trying to hold on to my filter a little longer.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing is that we're enjoying you, all of my friends, and at work, we're talking how well it helps us to understand things and not to get excited over certain issues, and we have what you say joy, and we're
Good.
keeping the joy, and then nobody's going to take that away from us.
Thank you, man. Tell my
All right.
sister I said hello.
I'll tell her.
All
She's enjoying you as well.
Talk to her soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Be blessed. Thank you.
What time? How much time do we have?
6 minutes.
Oh, good. 1-866-743-8267. What you got, Pastor Nick?
You know that Blacks for Trump thing?
Yeah.
Their biggest thing is this. They say we joined the conservative movement
Yes.
because we don't want to feel like victims.
we don't want to feel like victims.
Yeah, we're not victims. So this group over here works self-reliance, working hard, so and so. But here's my
So
dilemma.
we have a segment of the African American community that wants that also.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, most of us either voted Democrat or whatever growing up, or at least when they were changed anyway, back in the 80s. But we were always taught, work harder than everybody else because you have to.
Absolutely.
The stuff that they had to go through, everybody had to go through overcoming racism to succeed. That ain't no victim stuff in there.
So this group could be that casual about where they stand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because their thing is the Democratic Party's for the plantations for victims, and if you're black and you're on a plantation, they want you to rely on government and not self-reliance, which is a bunch of malarkey.
Yep.
Because you can vote liberal and still be one of the hardest working people out there.
That's right.
Like, come on, yo. But
Well, where I come from, hard work levels the playing field.
right.
That's the model we had.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bogus.
Yeah.
I think there's some self-hatred there.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some denial of the realities of a balanced reality
Yep.
that makes up the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it implies that most of us fall into a stereotype,
Mm-hmm.
and I resent that.
Absolutely.
I don't represent that. Okay.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that these people, if they voted for Barack Obama or who was before him,
They don't want to work hard.
They didn't want to work hard. They just want to rely on the government.
Come follow me for a week. Come follow you for a week.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Come on. That's just bogus.
Insulting to people that
But
work hard.
and it's but you're right. It's that self-hatred thing.
Absolutely.
Like we're coming over here to be liberated.
In denial about who they are and where they come from.
But a lot of this, from what I hear, a lot of
But
this,
go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. I won't forget it.
a lot of the Spanish culture, we talked about that.
Yeah.
They identify as white in a lot of places.
Amazingly.
That's why they vote conservative.
Well, some of our people do too.
Yep.
And I don't know how you look into a mirror
Mm-hmm.
and see yourself and then walk away, maybe because the image fades as quickly like the Bible says.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You see it, then go.
Yeah, it fades quickly. You got to keep getting in the mirror to see yourself. So I stay out of the mirror as
Right.
much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I lose the image of who I really am.
Yeah.
That's Bible.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. So.
Wow, 3 minutes. So,
Yeah.
and I did forget what I was going to say. Go ahead.
That's why I wanted you to keep going. I wanted you to keep going.
Okay, so it's just I'm perplexed
Yeah.
that we are in a position now that perhaps, Pastor Nick, because my generation bore a disproportionate amount of weight as it relates to civil rights, perhaps that is part of the generation of denial, because they really they experienced the refining racism where we experienced the raw racism.
Yeah.
And the refined racism is much easier to deny
Yep.
than the raw racism of my era.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we had reminders,
Mhm.
separate fountains, separate doors to restaurants if they served you,
Mm-hmm.
hotels you couldn't stay in. That's where my generation came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had reminders constantly every day, whereas this culture, I'm not sure it has many reminders at all.
Yeah, visible. They're starting to see some of it now. We were talking last night with the millennials that there's a black pride coming back to this for this generation.
Okay.
And my thing is the people who assert that black pride is a bad thing. What are the circumstances that created James Brown to write a song called "I'm Black and I'm Proud" and a movement?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're not talking about.
Well, here's my problem with that, Pastor Nick. Don't have a problem with us being racial. That is proud of
Absolutely.
who you are, where you come
Yes.
from. When you are proud of where you came from and who you are.
Kiss me, I'm Irish.
Yes. So don't tell me I can't be racial when I'm surrounded by racially proud people all the time.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, so why African Americans are not allowed to be racial?
Mm-hmm.
I've indicted racism across the board,
Absolutely.
especially for people of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a distinct problem with my evangelical brothers right now. A distinct issue. It is not a problem that Jesus is going to solve. It's a problem that Jesus wants us to solve.
Right.
You know, so I just, some of these guys have really gotten on my nerves.
Yeah.
And I've been in meetings with them, and the pressure, here it comes. The pressure is, especially for African Americans in this group in denial, is if you are strong enough, intellectual enough, articulate enough to voice your position in a corporate setting without alienating everybody in the room. And at some point, you have to decide, I'm not going to be in denial about who I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand for who I am. And usually, that comes on the heels of being highly productive in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
When you're highly productive, people are prone to listen to you more.
Yeah.
But if you're late to work and not coming in on
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
taking 2 hours for lunch and not producing anything, always got an excuse, environmental reason I didn't meet my numbers this week,
Yeah.
you can't stand up for yourself in a controversial place
Yeah.
like race. But
Yeah.
when somebody asks you the question,
Mm.
you know, how do you feel like being the missing link, and you're the top producer in the division, you can answer them.
Oh, yeah.
But not crawling across the table,
Yeah. And kicking
but,
somebody behind.
but articulating
Mm.
why you're not.
Yep.
So I think maybe the pressure is keeping some people in corporate America from addressing this issue because they're afraid of losing their careers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're out?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We will see you at 10:15.
Yes, sir.
Join us for the leadership seminar. You don't want to miss it. Pastor Nick and I are addressing you today on leadership, and immediately following that seminar, we will have a Q&A regarding the seminar and all the points covered. I want you to join us for leadership at 10:15. Any smart device, but all of our websites, right?
Except Instagram. Yep.
All right, except Instagram.
All our streaming stuff. Yep.
All our streaming stuff, BBC of NJ, at David G. Evans 1. Any other ones?
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can get us on all our streaming sites, social media outlets. Come on, join us today. Leadership 10:15. Now, our outdoor service is canceled today because of the weather. And I had a word for you today. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. But we'll give it to you next week. Now remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and we'll see you at 10:15.